So,
very good.
Where did we leave off?
So yes, let's do a brief recap.
Because I don't have the
let's
faintest.
not, because I'm very sad about where we left off, actually.
Excellent. Can you remind the class, please?
Well, so effectively, apparently no one in the black market trusts us anymore because I tried to schmoozy up the guard and we lost pretty much all of our croupiers.
We lost our the people at the toll booths.
Because they cannot see any kind of vision, which I am very sad about.
Remember, you're just talking to us, Kat. You don't actually have to blether. There's a difference.
I'm still saying that I'm very sad that no one can see my vision.
Would I imply that your internal mode of thinking is different from your external performed mode?
Don't want any of it.
Yeah.
It's a very coherent vision. They understand it.
Do they really? Because I don't think they do. I don't think they understand that they can actually do so much more if they just bothered to let us actually run this double ruse.
Honestly,
and, we could actually bring the guards into this and we could run this right under their noses and it would be amazing. We could demolish all competition in the quarter.
So Kat, let me. I just thought of an analogy that might be useful. You know how in Canberra occasionally there are elections, right?
What?
I know, right?
Don't let the public know. There'll be riots.
and new PMs swan in full of promises and glory.
Are you saying that I'm a politician, Brian, because I take offense?
I'm certainly not implying that.
You're certainly not implying that, exactly.
But
all right, fine. I guess
so these summer help, to use the technical term, swan in, and the career bureaucrats look at them. I imagine that the career bureaucrats who've seen how many different owners, Mikhail? Over the last month or two of the casino? Yeah.
Probably a couple over the last couple of months.
Currently consider us to be the summer help. If
no vision. I'm still going to say it's no vision. I'm very sad. I'm disappointed in all of them.
Well, feel free to try and convince them that they're wrong, but at the moment they think that, no, they don't want anything to do with
At the moment, I just want to cut them out of the whole deal and throw them under the bus, basically.
Well, okay, so let's actually unpack that. You want to throw them under the bus?
Absolutely.
How exactly?
Well, okay, so let's for a moment remind ourselves and potential viewers what is actually happening, because I think anyone watching would be very, very confused.
All right.
You are members of the ministry. You have a casino,
that's right.
mostly as a cover.
Yes, so we are currently members of an entirely prescribed and illicit group.
Yes.
Owners of a corrupt establishment, newly repainted.
Yes. You can tell it's not corrupt. Look at the paint. Come on.
We are masked drow in a city ruled by Elfir.
Yes.
We are in some way trying to carve out a little sphere of non-Elfir control from the greater BS that is the Spire.
That's exactly right.
And so, in the previous two games that we've had,
Undercover. Sorry, go on.
You've made overtures to Captain Niall Lacostra because you've decided that the newly appointed head of the guard in the Silver Quarter would be a good person to blackmail or subvert or something. You're not certain, I think.
I thought
No. Not subvert and definitely not blackmail. Convince we're harmless.
That's about how
would
it
actually
went.
be a better word.
The logic was, okay, let's get some dirt, and then that turned into, let's toady up to her.
Yeah. Because the best way to use dirt and get dirt is by getting it from themselves. Hey, Glycan, how are you doing?
Uh-huh.
And
with a completely reasonable risk profile as well.
Absolutely. Post legit.
Right. Last time I spent time getting in contact with Jakeem, a reporter at the Torch, while you were cozying up to Del Costra.
Mm-hmm.
Time before that, we had a visit from Sos Factotum, F Squiggle Squiggle.
Frozen Sparrow shatters.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yep.
And we know about Lay Deacon.
Strides out, harmonious.
Yep. And some of his naughty thoughts.
Yes.
Right.
So you also did some research on Frozen Sparrow Shatters, who is,
Yes.
as Brian says, an underling of Monsieur So, who runs the house and half the Silver Quarter with it. And you found out that he was doing some sort of money transfer payments, something to someone in Red Row.
Oh, that's right. We did find dirt. Yes.
So
All the way down here.
Yes, so we have two objectives. We have our proximate objective, which is make sure we stay open. I know, right?
Well, that's going really well so far, apparently.
Yep.
Apparently that's fine right now.
I aim high.
You are?
And then the second one is find out the Red Row dirt. So I think the first pregame action we need to take is figuring out what your knack is. Because your knack determines what trouble you get. Sorry, what you're good at.
That's right. You do get to decide what you've been focusing on as a researcher this session.
Okay, so last time it was digging up dirt.
So it must not be digging up dirt.
Must not be digging up dirt. Can we make it investigating the dirt?
What's
Now
the
that we've
difference?
dug it up,
What's the
we
difference
are
between
using
investigating
it.
and digging up? Asking for a friend.
Well, digging up the dirt is discovering it, right? Investigating the dirt is like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder where this is going to take us.
Insert sense of discovery.
See?
I think that's a bit broad a knack.
Okay, how about follow the thread? Can that be a knack?
I have no idea how you'd roll that.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the same way. I guess it would be
If
similar.
you wanted to use this knack for investigating the payments in Red Row, make it something about Red Row underworld. So you spend time reading up on all the latest.
So instead of slicing
CD.
it downwards with digging up dirt, you can slice it in a domain sense, Red Row, which is a subset of crime.
Yeah, and probably more narrow that Red Row.
Yeah.
CD underworld.
So I am now an expert in navigating the seedy underworld of the Red Row.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah. If that's what you want, that's
Undertow of Red Row. That actually sounds really good. I like that.
So it sounds like, in rough planning sense, it's my job to deal with the mess that you made, and it's your job to make more mess.
That sounds perfect.
Well, I will remind you that you have an immediate concern, in addition to whatever machinations you might be plotting, of, half your staff, the ones that you professionally recruited 2 nights ago for the grand opening, have just learned of your plans of installing a guard post on the second floor of your casino, and there may or may not be a giant pole involved, down which they would be sliding. And they decided they don't want none of that.
Right.
The guards don't want any of it. What? Really?
No. The quarters, the human gang that you had recruited.
They're not
So
into
you-
our sliding guide, Paul, which I again think is a total travesty. I don't
Oh,
understand.
they think
like our
it's
guide.
hilarious, and they may come and watch it, but they don't want to be in the same place because they think it will be very hard to peddle whatever it is they're peddling if there are guards
Lack of
all over.
imagination. Seriously, these guys just need.
Lack of trust, I think.
They're just lazy. Yes, it will be harder, but the rewards will be better. Like it's.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Well, so for the time being,
can you
it
remind
is about an hour before the opening of the casino.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's evening.
Yeah, we spent basically the whole day researching and going around and doing
And
things,
foobarring,
and then
yes.
researching again, and then installing a poll. I don't really know why, but we did it, and it was great.
Indeed. For me, the
Who
poll.
else did I you?
For me, the poll was a little bit more aspirational than a install now.
Well, I don't think the poll has been installed yet.
No.
Plans have been drawn
Oh,
out.
really? Oh,
Yes.
I'm disappointed.
There may even be a poster on the outside advertising it.
This is my I'm really disappointed in you face, Brian. Like I really
I'm
thought we
glad
could
that
have
I
gotten
can't
this thing in
see
faster.
I'm really disappointed in you face TM face. I'm sure that you have an I'm disappointed in you mask. It just
You know
is
what?
the word disappoint.
Point. On a jaunty angle, of course, because otherwise it just wouldn't be stylish.
And I'm thinking like with a complete like gray background. So
Absolutely.
it's just the word disappoint floating in midair.
So much disappoint, so much
So much
fuss.
disappoint. Okay, we have
I have to say, I appreciate how we can have started the game, 15, 20 minutes ago. Nothing has happened yet.
nonsense. We have recapped to each other.
We have recapped.
Our
Yeah.
how do I
I've
say?
chosen a knack. That's pretty
Our
impressive.
positions. We are
All right,
establishing.
bar's opening.
we
Let's
are
go.
establishing positions for a dialogue.
Now, remember, I did convince our deaf dubstep dude to come back. Remember?
Yes.
Yes.
So we still have our DJ. We just don't have the rest of the croupiers. So basically what I'm hearing is I've got my section of the bar sorted out and your section of the bar is not sorted out.
See, I'm not.
We're an hour away
See,
from
I'm not responsible for your poor hearing. If you had a more accurate representation of the real, we wouldn't be in this place.
Yeah, see, there you go, blaming me again. Typical. All I'm seeing is the results, dude, and I'm ready, and you're clearly not.
Sorry, which one of us is continental?
I'm just saying, maybe if you spent less time installing a poll and more time dealing with your croupiers, we would not be in this.
So it'd be
position.
you. I'm glad we agree.
And so,
Um,
I'm trying to steer it somewhere. I'm not even sure where
Well,
yet.
no. Basically, I'm trying to fill air until I have some idea.
Okay. Well, Monsieur Riquet observes the
I know what I shall
croupiers
do.
just walk out.
This is what a bond is for.
So it is.
I
What
have a
bond would you like to call
bond
on?
with Tessiv, a restaurateur, who is a general restaurant supplier.
Okay.
Temp staff, I'm pretty sure, gets covered under his able to supply. Temp staff in a hurry is going to be expensive as shit. But
Sure, I'll buy that. That will be some significant stress inflicted on that bond.
Yep,
That's how bonds work.
how bonds work.
So tell me about this Tacit.
So here's a restaurateur. They are most interested in expertly prepared meals with the rarest of ingredients, seasoned liberally with gossip and wine. And so, I think that this is one of Monsieur Rick's accidental friends. like normally he tries to get people who would be useful or who would be productive, and I think they just had so much fun critiquing restaurants that they kept doing it.
Okay.
And so it's like, oh, we're going out to eat next week. Of course we are. Sort of habit. And critiquing, oh, well, here's how they, here's how they're saving money on this dish. Yes, Kat?
Nothing. No, nothing. Not me.
You're thinking very loudly.
I would never dare to think loudly around you, Brian. You could lead to too many things.
Okay, and so Monsieur Rick, is it Rick or Riquette? Because it's written one way and then you pronounce it another, or
Yes.
maybe I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
I think that's the point.
Right. Okay. Well, Monsieur Rick then dashes out to go see his friend.
Yep.
And just blurts out, I need 5 people manning the tables.
Yeah. Like straight up.
Straight up, giant favor.
Well,
Get me a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I will be trying to see what his current heart's desire is, in case it's useful, because that's my ability.
Okay. CF. So where does CF work?
Where does he work?
Who does he supply for?
Well, considering that the Silver Quarter has quite a lot of entertainment.
It does.
He is definitely one of the minor suppliers, like silverware and cups, minor suppliers for the quarter. I think he's I can't read this bloody map. Is Ivory Row under the quarter?
Ivory Row is just under the quarter.
But that looks all... I think he's in the back streets of Ivory Row, where it's convenient for ramps to the quarter.
Okay. Oh, back streets of Ivory Row.
Of course.
Oh, that opens up so many possibilities.
That sounds really dangerous.
Yeah, the back streets of Ivory Row, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yes, okay.
There might be students
indeed.
in their plumage.
Okay, also, you basically just barely do any greetings or anything. You just rush in there because you need staff half an hour ago.
Yes.
And yes, you basically grab him, pull him out of the restaurant where he's delivering goods.
No, I'm not that stupid. I wait for him to finish delivery, but I'm kind of vibrating in place.
Right. Maybe even help him carry a box or two.
I absolutely help him carry stuff in. Oh, no rush. Let's just carry this in.
No rush at all.
So
we're starting in an hour and we're just kind of calling you in as a last minute thing, and
Exactly.
Well, so you, while doing this, you observe him for a few minutes and you get to learn his heart's desire. And you learn that he is, in fact, very distracted right now because he is very worried about someone.
Oh, no. Is it somebody that we've done something to, or can we just kind of...
Considering our history of effectiveness, Kat, I think we can rest down on that note.
Okay. I am glad.
And so as he finally finishes his task, and as you tell him that you need, this many guys, they're to be presentable and to know what they're doing, because you really don't have time to give them even barest of instructions on what to do there. He kind of nods absent-mindedly and, yeah, sure, people,
Yeah.
But you can tell that he's very... so, yes, he will get you those temp focus just for tonight.
Yep. Just for tonight. Absolutely.
He, has connections. Or mostly just, he knows everyone walking in the area. So cool. But, so just so you know how bonds work, I just rolled and you got a hefty amount of stress on that bond because he's dropping everything he was supposed to be doing and helping you out.
Yeah.
Like a good minion. Flash.
Yes. But at the end of the session, I will roll to see if there is a bond fallout. And so what you can do sometime during this session or next session, if fallout doesn't happen, is you can try and do a favor for him.
Oh, absolutely.
To reduce the stress that he took.
Yeah.
Or the bond took.
But that's that first hour before, so now over to Kat.
Sure.
Kat, let's go mess things up.
Well, I'm having a great time behind the bar just practicing my human chemistry over here. Me and the DJ are sort of back on proper speaking terms. We've kind of got tonight's set sorted out, so we're pretty happy.
Okay.
So we're ready to open, basically.
Yeah. Well, so, with the temp staff, the casino opens fine. There's not a grand issue that happens. And, it's about slightly more people than last night. Of course, there was a giant drop from the first grand opening. But, you're trudging along. It's fine.
So one thing that I've already offered Tessiv is basically free entertainment the entire evening for him and anyone he wants to bring.
Okay.
He did me a major favor. The least I can do is make it his evening fun.
He does not take you up on that offer.
Oh, he does not take you up on that offer.
Well, not tonight, at least.
Yeah.
No, okay, not tonight. All right, but maybe.
Sure.
So
okay.
So basically, I arrange. As I'm rushing off, mate, you seem down. You want to grab a cup of coffee in the early morning and chat?
Sure. Sure.
3 a.m.?
That's about the time I get up for the morning deliveries.
Croissants at the Cathedral's Bakery?
Sounds good. Okay. You've arranged for me to see if in a few hours.
Yep.
Just as the casino itself will be closing, and that's where you'll head over.
Yep. Over to you, Kat.
Right. Well, we're open. So what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm behind the bar. I'm just waiting. I'm doing the thing.
Okay.
Like I'm set and ready for the night to proceed.
Yeah. Well, as I said, the night is going just fine up until about 1 a.m. When you immediately see trouble. You see it coming.
There's a pool table on the premises.
Well, so what happens is you see, or rather, several members of House Yisen have been patrons of the casino for the last few hours. They've been at the tables, drinks, everything.
Yep.
And then you see a trio from House Queen. Now, both House Yisen and House Queen are major houses back in the Drow homelands. The ones that are locked in perpetual civil war.
Yes.
And so...
Are they about to start a smackdown in my bar? Because I might get out.
Refugees from lands arriving at Spire have been importing that civil war here. Especially ones that didn't just go, okay, we're now citizens of Spire, but rather went, no, we are houses. We have
Yeah,
all the
So,
liveries and things.
so just as the glances are getting a little bit spiky, clad in rainbow finery, Ricochet, very much in the high presence mode, walks up to the groups. Gentlemen, ladies, I sense an opportunity.
Oh God.
So you have 7 pairs of eyes that were just glaring down upon him.
I sense an opportunity for some wages. Now, normally I don't offer this service to everyone, but it looks like you two are willing to put quite a lot on the line to show who is the better player. Do you have what it takes to dominate the other side?
Okay, so you want to transfer their rivalry into gambling.
Yes.
That sounds like a solid plan. So I think it will be compel plus. See, I don't really think they're high society, because no. Let's go. They pretend to be high society. So compel plus high society.
I would say it's high society because we're in a high society casino. So I'm using the language of here's how high society put one over on the other people as the implied subtext. Not particularly implied because they've been drinking cat's alcohol.
Can I rock up at this point with the tray
Absolutely.
of like specifically designed drinks for each of the houses? To help sort of like emphasize the point that they want to do this thing. We will totally help them. We will help them drink and gamble.
Okay, so House Season is a traditionalist party-going bloodletters. That's the notes that I done for myself.
Nice.
Practice.
Whereas House Queen is Nouveau Riche, bound together by oaths and not marriage or blood.
So I'm taking an extra die from Cat helping.
An extra dive. Oh
Die.
no!
Extra die.
No, die.
Yeah,
Die.
if-
Yes. I was like, no.
You're helping me, right, Cat?
If Cat has compel or high society,
The word. I've been absolutely conditioned now to hear helping as hindering. So.
Do you have compel or high society, Cat?
I believe so. Yes, Fiona does have compel.
Excellent.
So yes, you do get an extra die, but you share the risk. Now, that.
Yes.
What does a drink specifically designed for House Season, the traditionalist bloodletting party goers, look like? What goes into that?
It is very bright. It is in the fanciest cups that we have, and it definitely has at least 3 ornaments.
Does it have layers?
It definitely has layers.
Solid. And what about House Queen, the Nouveau Riche together by oaths?
Very, very strong gin and tonics.
In square glasses.
Okay. So, Brian rolled a 7, which is a success at a cost.
Okay.
Let's decide what the cost will go to. I think it will go to reputation, because no matter, like, it will be very hard not to appear to favor one side or another, so the other side will take offense.
But which side will take offense? Both of them.
Yes.
But only a little bit.
Alcoholic fumed offense, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this can't go wrong.
Why
Well,
do
it
you
only goes
have to
wrong
say that?
when Fallout is rolled. Speaking
Guess what I
of,
just did? Guess what I just did?
always
Oh, look,
on
moderate
the-
Fallout.
Bright
no!
side of life. Do 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 do.
Already? Really?
Always look on the bright side of
You know,
life.
Shostakovich is actually becoming more and more suitable for this game. I'm so glad I chose it.
Okay, so fantastic. So as the idea is a success, you get them at a table and they're playing the equivalent of poker.
Yep.
And as the night goes on, you see that the queen side, like at the end of the night, it's one member of House Queen and two members of House Eastern that are left with any money, and the others are just kind of cheering them on. And at the very last pivotal hand, the member of House Queen, Bexford Queen, he was in one of your notes, I believe, bets big on whatever you will deal with to him. I don't actually play poker, but like the cards that get opened halfway through. And it is absolute garbage. House Eason wins. Bexford Queen looks at you and you just read murder in his face.
No.
Fair.
So the fallout is vendetta. During the next session or later in this one, an NPC from this session will return the vendetta against you. Because, he doesn't say a single word, he just walks away from the table, leaving all the money on it. And House Queen departs.
Yep.
But, he thinks you've jilted him.
I'm a casino owner, so like that's normal.
Yeah, that's... Let me just find the appropriate note. That's not it.
We are not going to keep our casino for long.
Cat,
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure that any set of characters comprised of us isn't going to exist for particularly long.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the note that mentions Vexed Queen. This is from your dossier.
Right. Out of somewhat pointed curiosity, can I use the excess profits generated by this success to reduce any of my other
Well, so good news is you clear 5 stress.
right, because
of the fallout,
rolled.
because it crystallized into this outcome.
Yep.
And you
That's phenomenal, just quietly.
don't actually have silver stress, so you're perfectly fine.
Fantastic.
But Cat has a bit, or Fiona has a bit, and it can be cleared with the profits.
It can be cleared with what?
So because we goaded these houses
Into a fight.
into a gambling fight, and the house took its cut, we can clear some of your silver stress with the results.
Oh, my silver stress. Oh, excellent.
So at the moment, just so you know, Fiona has 0 stress. She's perfectly fine. Whereas Monsieur Ricket only has a bit of reputation stress, but that's covered by his free slots. So you're both fine.
And
Yes.
accompanied discreetly by my bodyguard.
Yep.
Because Sma is, if nothing else, discreet. I go for 3 a.m. croissants.
Okay. What does Fiona do in the meantime? Or just sleep? Because it is 3 a.m.
Good.
Yep.
I think I like sleeping.
Okay.
And resting up so I can go and do my during the day stuff tomorrow, which is going to be my, going down a red row and figuring out what the hell's going on down there.
So going to bed with just cutouts of newspapers about Red Row, because that's how you get your obsessive researcher thing. You obsessively research.
Okay.
Cool. Well, so let's have that conversation with Seath then. Ryan?
Yes.
You are at the bakery in Ivory Row.
Of course you are.
It is, it smells nice.
I hope so.
Yep. The streets
3
are
a.m. at
quiet.
bakery.
There's barely anyone here. There is actually an interesting question. Book of whether or not drow are nocturnal. Because they are burnt by sunlight, but they mostly live covered in this massive spire. So, but I found that it just gets more confusing in practice if you try to go, oh yes, you are asleep during the day, and so it's 2 a.m. and you're fully awake, and people just get confused. So anyway, 2 a.m.,
Yep.
3 a.m. Seath is sitting there at croissant. And as you join, he just kind of spins his cup a bit and then says, "Can I ask you to do something for me?
Absolutely.
I have a friend."
Stone drops from throat to stomach.
I have this friend, well, more than a friend, really, and she's been not missing, but yeah, she basically cut me out of communication with her, or all of her friends or colleagues or anyone.
In Red
It's odd. No, she only happened recently. Her name is Elixir, and yeah, I thought things were going between us, and then burned, I guess. But it's not like I see it coming. So yes, I want to know what happened. If I've done something or if something happened to her. I saw her yesterday and she just walked past me.
Oh, so she's not missing at all. She's
No.
definitely
No.
just blinking. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, you're not there, but
That's okay. The ghost of Cat lives eternal in my head.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, of course. What are friends for? I'll see what I can do. But at least,
Tell you what, they're not for blinking.
at the very least, I will try to bring some closure to this.
thank you. Oh, here's the question to you. Is your bodyguard with you?
Yes.
Is he just always with you?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
not that stupid.
Excellent. In which case, here's a second question to you. Is your bodyguard aware that you're a member of the ministry? Because it's very hard to be a member of a secret organization and have a bodyguard trailing you everywhere always.
So everywhere is one of those starred things.
Okay.
My public persona. Actually, no. What am I saying? Yes. Of course he's aware. He is also minister.
Okay.
Lower rank.
That's
He doesn't know who else is in my cell. Like he just reports to me. But yes,
right.
he is one of the lower rung.
Okay. So he's full-fledged, but he's a full-fledged minister.
Yes.
He's the initiations.
Just because it's really stupid
It is much harder to
have a built-in spy. So no, he is.
Okay.
I don't think he's been blooded as much as Fiona and Ricte have been. Like, Fiona and Ricte have been through some shit.
Yep.
He has been through less shit, but some shit.
Okay.
Enough to know what's real and what's not real.
He's
Not
been,
enough to have been completely jaded.
he has his hands dirty. So let's be pragmatic about it. The first level of compromise is that the ministry has dirt upon us, right?
Yeah.
He has reached that level of compromise. And thus, we have a level of mutual trust. Isn't that nice?
I love how trust is formed in this world.
Clearly, because that's different than how trust is formed in any other possible imaginable world.
I like to think that it is different to how trust is formed in this world all the time.
So Kat, are you sure your name's not Candide?
I would have to say that I'd like to think that my friends are my friends because of reasons other than the fact that I have dirt on them.
Kat, know that we will always be friends.
Because of the amount of dirt, right?
No, out of the goodness of my heart. You don't have to bring up anything, and we'll always be friends. See? Examples. Examples are always worthwhile.
Uh-huh.
So yes, digging up dirt is what we call bonding.
Oh, so I should be changing my knack to bonding, right? Okay, cool.
No.
And yet
It's
didn't work.
bonding.
It did not work with the captain, and I was very sad. See, this is, when bonding goes wrong, you lose half your croupiers. You knew.
Well, no. Because with the croupiers, we needed to use epoxy instead.
That's true.
Anyway,
That was a pun. Shut up.
so whatever Alexia is up to, she's really fast asleep right now,
Yes.
as are most people. So let's fast forward a tiny bit to the next day. Yes, what is Fiona up to? Do you, I guess, meet up and formulate plans for the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Are you going to be coming with me down to the Red Row at all, Mr. Rick?
I have to hire new
Oh,
croupiers.
is this like a solo mission? Am I going down by myself? Because that's totally fine too.
Oh, no,
you can
no.
trust me. You can absolutely trust me to go down to the Red Row and go and start digging up dirt and people and definitely following this thread through without any consequences whatsoever. That is what I can do for this casino pub / dance place.
Great, I trust you. I will hold you at what you said.
And considering you know exactly what I'm saying, then that's really something.
You said no consequences. I will hold you to that. Because I've got a fire pole to deal with.
You do, and that fire pole had better be there when I come back, and it better be glorious, and there better be at least one guard on it. All right, I'm going to have a very long, hard day down in Red Row, and when I get back, I expect fire poles and guards somewhere within viewing distance of my bar for no reason in particular.
Worry not. That exists on my list of priorities.
Sounds perfect. All
It
right,
is an
with that, I head
articulated
down to the Red Row.
Yes.
Okay. So Fiona heads down to Red Row.
Yeah.
The journey probably takes a couple hours because it involves a lot of elevators between floors and then going to a different elevator or taking the stairs and use
It's a
sometimes.
long way.
It is a long.
We are seriously traveling.
So
I've
I'm
got
wondering.
to remember where it actually is.
I imagine that the Spire is glorious for awkward elevator moments.
Yeah. So I think most elevators, I don't remember the name, but this non-stop boxes that just keep going.
Paternosters?
I'm trying to remember where
Sounds
it
about right.
actually
The
is.
ones that just go like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pedro is at
paternosters.
the very bottom. I'm thinking it.
Yep.
Ah, there it is. That's right.
Yep.
Except that I imagine that the paternosters in the Spire actually have spikes at the top.
Oh, absolutely. So that people don't ride on the top.
Like you guys have all actually seen the Leader Battle Angel, right? The old school anime version, not the new whatever the hell it is they've just made.
I've seen
The
neither,
whole thing is
unfortunately.
predicated on a city in the sky, and there are these massive cables that come down through to the actual next barrier, which is essentially Earth. And they literally have like these big circular plates that run up and down them specifically to kill and knock off anybody that tries to climb it. So I imagine there's actually some pretty
So these
deadly
are
stuff.
almost the same, except that they do offer some motive force some of the time.
There you go.
Well, also, I mean, if you wanted to quickly get down from Kilberquarter or higher, there are, mega corvettes, giant crows that you can
Ooh.
ride that are not strong enough to carry you up, but can bring you down for a reasonable cost. And so, you are in the Red Row. It is entirely different and yet very similar to Silverwater, in that Red Row is slums and seedy underground. It is full of also gambling and other entertainment places.
But somehow worse gambling, right?
Yes, that are too seedy for Silverwater, essentially. Silverwater is an upmarket place. Red Row is where you go when you want the real weird things.
Right.
Noting that we are not yet in the realm of the real or the weird. We just try harder.
All right. So I start trying to figure out what the hell all that information I had meant. Where do I start?
Okay. Well, so just to remind you, you had a few receipts written to Frozen Sparrow Shatters by someone called Rick Sand.
Mm-hmm. What did I find out about Rick Sand exactly in my obsessive research?
Don't believe you found much. But so receipts themselves were of payment delivered.
So in my CD Undertow of Red Row Expert, which I have the knack of now, what have I found out?
Well, so let's roll it and find out.
Start trying to figure it out. Okay, right. All right, how many dice am I rolling? What am I rolling?
So, is this again a theoretical research, or are you actually going?
No, I want to. I'm at Red Row, and I want to find out who the hell this guy is in Red Row. But where can I find him?
Let's start that.
I could. What's the best way of doing this? Do I know anyone in Red Row? Do I have any contacts down here at all?
That's an excellent question. Do you?
I know offense. Boom. No offense. It's going to be like my baseline to actually start this deal in the Silver Quarter if anybody could ever actually see my vision. And this guy is just as obsessed with this vision as I am, and also just as crazy. So he's a little bit optimistic. He's a little bit mad.
Stop!
And he thinks this is going to be amazing, and he's absolutely willing to help me. And he has basically spent the last 6 months establishing himself in Red Row as a very, very good, very discreet, totally discreet fence.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We bonded over our love of human technology.
Of
Uh-huh.
course. And so you just come to this fence. His
I went,
name?
hey. No, he doesn't have a name. He's a fence. He is
Okay.
called Fence. Yeah.
Right.
Because he's like, because this is the whole thing. Like, he's the most non-obvious.
Wait, so if he's the most non-obvious fence, is his name George?
George the Fence, yeah.
Excellent.
Because no fence would ever be named George.
Yeah, exactly. And his friends just call him Fence anyway, so no one would ever guess that his name is actually George.
Okay. So you come to this fence friend of you, and you ask what if he knows anyone called Rick Sand.
Oh yeah, I gave him this memo, and he knew that I was coming. I've done a little bit of my research. I've come down to see whether or not he actually knows anything about what's going on here.
Okay. Well, so let's have you roll investigate plus crime, because that's what we're investigating.
Plus my CD and so I've only
Plus
got
your knack, yes. So
I get 3 dice then because I don't have crime as a domain.
yeah, that sounds right.
7. You would have thought, mate. George the Fence is a consequence.
Well,
George the fence.
so you ask him, and he points to you to a few more people that you can ask about this, because the Rick Sand does sound like just a hired thing, right? And so he introduces you to a few people who hire out thugs. And in this asking, you get a bit of shadow stress, because people do. These people make it a habit of remembering faces, and you just show your face to them. But eventually, one of them went you to a bar where Rick Sand is supposedly often seen.
Right. So that's a pretty good start. All right. I very discreetly, I mean. Totally
With you, Kat,
discreet.
we need to check.
Rock up to this bar and just order a drink and sit in the corner and start chatting, human chemistry with the bartender.
Okay, let us find out what this bar is called and what's going on at it, because I have tables. This bar is called The Smoking Hole, and tonight the occupants are singing ancient dog songs, because it's not very far from Blue Dogs.
Okay.
DOCK or DOG?
Doc. CK.
Just making sure.
Now, have I picked up enough electronica from my amazing DJ friend after working on all of that fantastic death dubstep music with them to turn their sea shanties into sea shanties dubstep step and actually take over the bar?
You can certainly try this.
Boom. Let's do this. What better way to be completely discreet?
Okay.
So when you said discreet, earlier, you were actually right the first time?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is not a night bar, thankfully.
But this... I'm there. Looking for really bad.
Most of the night bars would be in the Botox K night, the ones with great swords. But these people are still very fond of their shanties.
Yeah. Let's dubstep those shanties. This is going to be awesome.
Shanties that they've been singing for generations.
Absolutely.
And then you show
Nothing
up
like
and go,
being
I can do this better.
No. Differently. I would never use the word better.
So you, someone obviously wealthy and from the High Spire, show up.
What do you mean I'm obviously wealthy and from the Spire? Dude, I've come to the Red Row and I'm talking to a fence. You think that I haven't dressed down
good.
for this?
So you're wearing your disappoint mask?
I'm definitely wearing my disappointment mask, and I'm sitting at a bar, like a really seedy bar, talking human chemistry with a bartender in the middle of the day, contemplating shifty dubstep. I do not look rich, and I do not look like I'm from the Silver Quarter.
Okay, well, let's see if you make a good impression of that, Michelle. I think it'll be compel plus low society. Yeah, that's right.
Compel Low Society, CD editor of Red Row. We are literally in the CD editor of Red Row right now.
Sure, why not?
So this
I'm an
is
expert in this area.
I've run into this in my research. I know how this goes.
That's exactly right. I seriously done my research here.
Okay, that's not at all.
Yeah, right. I've done my
That's
research.
not fair. This should not pay off like this.
It is. Okay, shanty dubstep for life. Everyone loves it.
This should not pay off like this.
I completely trust me. I basically have. This is how empires are built, Brian. Okay, you just need to have faith in me. I keep trying to sell you into this vision.
For Alexander gazed upon the rubble of the bar and wept, for there was no more dubstep to conquer.
I'm gonna turn everything we find into dubstep now. Like, this is it.
Okay,
Sure. Yes.
an hour later, you are leading the entire smoking hall bar in the rousing rendition of all of their shanties as rendered by portable electronic dubstep machine of some kind. What does it look like?
Absolutely. Okay, so remember like back in the 80s where they used to have those like fake sort of DJ tables that had the record sort of stuff on them, but they were like strapped to your front, but they didn't really perform very well. It's basically that. With like an electronic version of it underneath that's actually doing most of the work.
Actually, may I suggest, instead of the electronic version, there are runes carved into the records?
Yes! Done. We're going to go with that.
And so you're using sympathetic magic to dub records over there from records over
I'm actually
here.
going to put this in as part of my equipment. Dubstep.
Runic dubstep kit.
Of course. Okay, the cheap beer just flows like a river, and you are the toast of the bar.
Yeah, I am.
So what was your objective again, Kat?
Yeah, what? I actually tried to do something.
Bringing dubstep to the masses, which I'm very excited about.
All hail the first prophet, Kat.
Yeah, no, thank you. Cat's my secret name that nobody knows.
Sorry, all hail the first prophet, disappoint.
Absolutely not. No one would guess my name was George. Yeah, all right. That's right. Okay, so once all the amazingness starts dying down and I'm the best friend of everybody in the bar, I start very suddenly asking my questions and trying to figure out where my target actually is now that I've gained everyone's trust.
Yeah. Well, so sure, just by listening.
Yes.
Then that short-haired woman over there that looks like she might have been a knight, but she probably isn't anymore.
Mm.
She's like very powerfully built.
Mm. All right. Well, I've made really good friends with the bartender, right? We've bonded over human chemistry. So I'm going to pour her a drink that I think that she might actually
Wait, not
like.
only did you take over the music section, you also just settled behind the bar and started pouring drinks? Is that what's happening?
A little bit, because like the bartender and I were already bonding before I became an amazing sea shanty dub steppist. So I think I've gained enough trust at this point to actually kind of,
So, Kat,
Yeah.
your first secret identity it is as a bartender who likes death dubstep.
I like
And your
being
second
surprised.
secret
No
identity.
one's ever going to guess who I am.
And your second secret identity that has no connection to the first. Let me repeat this back to you. Just make sure I'm following. Is as a bartender
No
who likes death
My
dubstep.
name is George, okay?
Whose name is George.
No one would ever guess, okay? It's really important.
So like, is your secret disguise just like a small name tag with George on it?
But that's my friend. In fact, it says George, and then it has like an arrow pointing to my friend.
Your disguise needs work. If
My
over there
disguise
is with
also
George,
no one will ever know who I am.
it's like, we can't know. All we know is that she was with George. Who is this person?
And no one knows who George is because I just know him as the fan.
George without referent? We know nothing.
Exactly right.
Okay. So, sure, the bartender doesn't particularly mind if you want to do his job.
No. All I'm
They
just
don't really
wondering-
have much to offer.
Wondering.
Well, so mixing things is a bit complicated here because they have the house ale and the list.
Oh,
They have a barrel.
did I bring anything with me as far as alcohol is concerned?
Probably not.
You're walking down Spire with a runic death dubstep table, concealed somewhere. You're not just happy to see people. Do you also want a portable alcoholic arsenal?
No.
You want a non-portable alcoholic arsenal?
Well, I mean, funnily enough, that's the sort of thing that Azurite might have. Just stashed things and you're everywhere.
I have updated my equipment to include a runic dubstep kit portable with hidden alcohol compartments.
Okay, it's even more farmable than before.
I get
Excellent.
part of the ale that's kind of chilling out and being awful seedy pub ale near thing. Take it over to, I don't even know who we're after anymore. That night
Yes!
person.
This is my point.
Secretly put in a couple of other little ingredients that I know is going to work really, really well with the terrible, terrible beer that I'm trying to feed this poor woman. And say,
I mean, presumably she comes to this place and drinks this beer because she's hooked. But sure, by all means.
probably she comes here and drinks this beer because that's all she can afford, and it's a freaking Red Row and there's nothing actually aboard. So I take this beer and I improve it with my various things that I have
It has
to
been
make it
infused
still nondescript.
with
To make
rums.
mind you, like it doesn't look any different to being sort of like, you know, seedy pub beer, as not to draw suspicion. See, I thought you'd like that bit, Brian. And then I kind of walk up to her and I say, look, yeah, everyone else is having an amazing time. She's clearly not having an amazing time. I'm like, look, I've got this. I found a drink that I think that you will actually like. Here, try this one.
She looks you up and down and goes, "Thanks, but not interested."
Oh, I'm really sad now. Massive despondent face.
You're
thought you
disappointed frogs.
The disappointed frogs. Can I convince her to sit down and have a drink with me?
Well, okay. If you insist, she'll kind of shrug. Yes, you can sit next to her and have a drink next to her. She doesn't particularly care.
All right, how do I strike up a conversation with her? Maybe I just straight up say, look, everyone seems to be having a really good time here tonight, and I don't really see that happening around here that often, but you don't really sort of seem to be enjoying it. What's up?
Lady, get the hint. I'm not in the mood for light conversation.
I'm not suggesting light conversation.
Okay, you're trying to break through to her and just get her, even at all talking, really. Sure, that sounds like compel plus crime.
Crime?
Well, all law society, you don't have either, so.
Can I use my CD undertow of Red Row expertise? Yes.
It is literally the only thing saving you. Right.
Yep, yeah, it is literally the only thing
saving you right now, yeah. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Completely without consequence. Do you realize what my rolls are going to be like, Kat?
Yes. Do I realize I'm taking all your rolls? I'm so...
Yeah.
Okay. After a couple of attempts at striking up conversation, she finally goes, I thought you were hitting on me. Okay. And
Does she drink my beer?
Sure.
Yes. Does she
She's
like
very
it?
surprised.
Yes. See, I'm good at this.
Why is it cold?
It's something new that I'm working on. And then I go into a
beer.
I
Beer
know.
plus.
Still a bit experimental, but you know, I'm just seeing what it is.
What beer?
Yeah. Okay. She is talking to you. So, what did you want if you were not here to...
I'm trying to figure out who the hell she is. And why on earth she's getting payments from the Silver Quarter? Like, what is her actual connection from up there?
Oh, no. She is not the one getting payments. She was the one delivering payments.
Oh, she's the one delivering payments. That's right. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out like who she is and what she does. And essentially, like maybe who she's working for, though I think that's probably a step a little bit too far from what I'm actually going to get from her. But
So
I might
considering the amount of tattoos, scars, and even fresh bruises on her, she is a thug for hire of some kind. Or maybe she's been hired a long time ago and she still works for the same person. But yeah, her occupation is fairly clear.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get to the point of knowing who it is that she's actually working and whether or not that, because if she's doing this fairly regularly, then she's got at least one regular client. But obviously you can't just kind of jump in with that. So
yeah. Well, so you made that roll to have a reasonable conversation with her. It will cover, the next half an hour of gradually poking her to get her to tell you something. And sure, she will say that she, does this and that, and works for different people when the need arises, and an elf here from up Spire.
She works for an Elfia at Spire?
More like run errands.
Runs errands. What sort of
Nothing
errands? Anything interesting? Up Spire? Like, that's pretty impressive, you know?
Yeah, but I don't get to go there.
But you must hear stories. What's it like?
Look, I go there once a month and I pick up a parcel and I bring a parcel to a particular place. Look, I'm mostly employed so that the parcel doesn't get missing.
Yeah, right. A parcel. That parcel must be a glorious parcel if it's coming from the Silver Quarter. Does it have really fancy wrapping?
Okay, she will not catch on to the fact that you said Silver Quarter. Well, she didn't, but
Pardon?
she never mentioned Silver Quarter, but I don't think she'll catch that because she's quite enjoying the beer you're providing.
Yes.
And she just, well, look, it's money's money. Doesn't need wrapping. It's what's inside that counts.
Wait, money's money. It doesn't need wrapping. It's what's inside that counts.
There's quite a lot of money to count on the inside of those parcels.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So, like, are you taking that back down locally? Like, is this a big trip for you?
Nah, yeah, I mean, yes, I bring them here to a place.
Like, are there good places down here? Should we be going somewhere else?
Oh, no. Like, it's to some woman, I don't know. It's very specifically paid not to know, not to care.
How am I going to get her to tell me where that place is?
That will be harder. That will probably, in fact, involve difficulty, which takes away dice from you. Well, because, yeah, it's her job to do this discreetly.
Can I ask to go on one of her runs with her? Tell her that, you know, I've been trying to, you know, break into this kind of thing myself, and I'm sort of like looking for somebody around that might be able to help me expand my skill sets. And like, as much as music and alcohol are amazing,
Well, I can
stay me forever.
take you on some other job, but not this one. The boss is very particular.
Really?
Doesn't want this spreading around. And I probably said too much already.
Do you have a pretty good relationship with this boss then? Like, have you guys known each other for a long time? Like, that's a lot of trust to put into somebody.
More like I get paid generously and I know what would happen if something were to go wrong with the money.
Yeah, right. All right, can I have a shot at suddenly trying to find out
Certainly.
where this person is? Even if it means drinking under the table at this point.
So that will, in fact, involve the same, which is compel plus crime, but will be difficulty 1, which is you lose 1 die.
So 2 dice?
Yep. Wop, wop, wop.
Does not work.
Does not compute. Well, so this will be ungood. Let's.
I'm doing so well.
Okay. So I think it will be some stress to your Silva as you keep buying her drink. But even when she's, slurring her words and slowly starting to slide, well, she just shrugs off questions.
Yeah, right. In which case, I am going to get the fence to start following her. and try and find out as much information as he can about what the hell's going on.
Okay, so you want your friend to track this rough person.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we will need at this point to add Fence as a bond for you.
Okay.
Because, sure, you can absolutely have more bonds. Normally you need to establish them, but whatever. And then we will inflict some stress on the relationships. And I will record that.
Can I pay all my stress back to George in alcohol? He seems like the kind of guy where that would happen.
Cat, we can't afford quite that much silver.
No. You are racking up stress on your bonds.
Yes.
But okay, you've asked fans to track her or to get someone to track her, maybe some Vatican. And sure, George shrugs, goes, okay. So if that's as far as your current investigation goes, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to Brian now and see what Monsieur Riquet has gotten up to.
So, Riquet actually spent some time in the shrine rereading the newspapers. And some interesting things came out of that. First off, I have a way of leveraging our desired outcome. So if you take a look at Temple Brawl kills 5, Captain Locostra of the Guard said, "We are hamstrung." City Guard report 5 dead and at least 10 injured in a fracas witnessed in Yerd Street Temple of Father Summer. Captain Locostra said, "We are hamstrung and our coffers are bare. We can barely contain the chaos of this district." So therefore, she wants to deal...
Money.
Well, yes, of course she wants money. But our superiors know this and continue to allow the operation of unregulated gambling dens within temples, where we are not permitted to gain access on holy days. Temple owner and prominent member of the charitable organization of St. Perdita, Lay Deacon Strides Out Harmonious, declined to comment. So that's actually a really useful lever, because we already have attacked Strides Out Harmonious in the press, and we know that Captain Lacostra wants that temple opened, basically. The other interesting thing is midwife murderer walks free. In the third end of the first paragraph, has on good authority that Iran was a member of the ministry. He was released into the custody of Lord Walks on Light, who purchased his durance from the city and recruited him to his entourage as an advisor.
Also, Aran was the murdered midwife.
Sorry, yes, Iran was the murdered midwife. Correct. Lefebvre, Antonine, is the person. Sorry, yes. So that's also a lever that we should look into. So my priorities for this midday.
All right, while you do that, I'm just going to have a very, very, very quick bio, and I'll be right back. So you keep going.
I could actually use some water as well, so...
Okay, all right.
Be right back.
1 minute break.
I am back.
I think Brian is still missing.
That's okay. Thank you for that, though. That was a lot of fun. I hope you don't mind me turning everything into dubstep.
That's fine.
But like, just from a mechanics point of view, I actually really enjoyed that.
Which part?
Oh, the fact that you can just basically build and build and build and build dice pools until things become ridiculous. And I like the fact that I can actually choose a different knack every time we have a game. Because it allows me to be very flexible in the way that I actually approach things, which is really lovely, actually. I don't feel cornered at all, which is good for me. Brian's like, I've got my roast and he has got his. Are you drinking Scotch or port?
Sake, actually.
Ah, lovely.
We're not quite at the Scotch level.
Not at the Scotch.
Yet.
Just alarm.
give me time.
Okay.
Getting sea shanty dubstep didn't do it to me. I'm gonna have to try harder.
So what is Monsieur Rick?
Alright, so Monsieur Riquet has a number of priorities. Priority 1, croupiers.
Yep.
Priority 2, securing the entrance, at least a detente, so we don't have people harassed. Priority 3, elixir. And then priority 4, spend some time fixing up the club if we get to priority 4.
Okay, so I think we'll combine priority 1 in basically more stuff, because half of your previous stuff left.
Yes.
And your temp people obviously can't stay on.
Yeah, no, the temp people were temp people.
Yep. Okay. Sure. Let's cover that with, once again, Compel and High Society. You're getting a lot of mileage of that Compels, I have to say, because you're playing very bulky characters. Well, look at that.
We are so fucked.
Well, you spent...
I was so impressed. You rolled a 10, Brian. I never thought that I'd see the day that you'd...
The omens are not auspicious.
They're very proud of you. Okay, so you spend most of the day interviewing people.
Yeah.
Because there certainly are enough those who wouldn't mind a steady employment in Silver Quarter.
And yeah,
And you filter out everyone who will be obviously skimming money, or obviously just using it as a way to sell something, or you just already own something when they give you. But you end up with, once again, fully staffed casino. Let's see how long that lasts this time.
I give it a half-life of half an evening.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm not even in the same freaking zone as you at the moment. You should be
That is
fine.
why I give it the half-life of half an evening. Because it'll take you time to get back.
Yeah.
Just so that we're both clear.
Have at least that much time.
Alright, so off to repay the favor.
Say again, sir.
Off to repay the favor.
Okay.
So this is between the time that I've finished staffing and need to prep for the casino.
Yep. Yeah, you have a couple hours to head over to Ivory Row.
Yep.
So you know that face Alexia?
Yep.
Alexia? Yes, she is a student at University of Queen Anfa. It's there on the map.
The big thing, yes.
Yes.
That's why I couldn't see it.
Yes, it's the biggest thing there.
Yep. Practically invisible. Student at UQuinn. Cool.
So it is a nexus for the development of Prokatakas technology, which is what human retroengineer, because Prokatakas or Katakas are a progenitor race of some kind that is all entirely gone from the surface. But there are archaeologies that they discover filled with marvelous toys.
So let me repeat back to you. This is a university that is effectively one gigantic archaeology department.
With practical applications, but yes.
I feel right at home. I am
It
so
focuses on yes, it focuses on the practical application.
Oh no, I'm sure that there are some academics there who are into practical archaeology. I'm also quite sure that they're not a plurality. Just from some sort of deep well of expertise. I don't know where.
Oh, it's almost like I'm rubbing off on you or something. This is good.
Clearly.
Okay. And so, it is a pretty massive place with people running all over the multiple floors of it.
Yep.
There are lectures and seminars and labs and lab explosions.
Undergrads, eh? So, huge place. I have 2 hours. Let's go to records.
Okay. And you're just looking for Elixir and
I want to get her. I want to get her schedule while not appearing to get her schedule.
okay. Well, I think we'll cover the theme as investigate plus academia. Imagine that.
You know what? I'm actually going to use one of my character's abilities for once. I know,
What are you
right?
talking about? He used Heart's Desire a lot.
No, like one of the actual abilities.
It is
Shut up. So I'm going to use the Golden God's Arcana.
Okay.
I put a coin under my tongue as payment to Azure, who fills your mind with knowledge. At the end of the rite, it disappears. Mark D3 stress and silver.
Okay. I'll do that.
I gain access to academia.
God, if only it was that simple.
I know, right?
How have we wasted our lives like this, Brian? Like, seriously, I feel so shocked.
Literally, it was literally putting a coin under our tongue, and we gain access to academia.
But only for a scene.
We have been taken for schmucks.
We have
done
been.
this the hard way. and
This
it's
is the
sucked.
glory of Azure.
We should have discovered Azure about 15 years ago. We would have been really happy.
Praise Azure.
Praise Azure.
Indeed. So this is investigate plus my new speciality of academia.
Yep.
Your new specialty, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. So low stakes thing. On the other, you have screwed the pooch on this one.
Yep.
So I think we'll give some stress to your shadow.
Yep.
There they come, the consequences of your 10.
Well, interestingly enough, you basically still have no actual stress because it's all covered by your free stress boxes. That's what your character is made for.
Not character, maybe. My character was made for dubstep.
If only we didn't impact each other.
So you try to get access to student records, maybe like the schedule for books, and you just as you were flipping through them, you are unceremoniously pushed out of the office by a well, a professor, you presume, just by the amount of scorch marks on their lab coat. Loudly declaring that
they are extremely scorched.
tutors go in a different office.
And I am dressed in what I consider to be academic regalia, so...
Yeah.
I shuffle off to the...
You have a specialty in academia, and you know exactly what you should be wearing.
Yeah.
So, records, you are kicked out. You'll need to find some... or to try to convince this guy that you belong here.
Let's do that. So...
He belongs here. Look at his fabulous robe.
I'm so sorry, Professor. I have an urgent message for a student, and I don't know their schedule, so I was trying to look it up. It'll just be a few minutes, and then I'll go teach 101.
Okay, sure. So, compel academia, go. Oh, deceive, I should say, but you have that too. That's a much better.
Which means that he gets roll d4, doesn't he? Oh, no.
No, I don't have knacks.
Sorry.
Yeah. But you succeed. Okay. So the professor just looks you up and down and goes, first years.
I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you exchange an anecdote or two about the ridiculous first-year students who are completely unprepared for the academic life ahead of them.
Praise is your.
Yep.
We need to get onto this, Brian. I'm
know,
saying
right?
we really.
Well, as far as I can tell, what this is actually praising is praise Uncle Bill, because Azure is one of his services.
Mm-hmm.
Azure, Microsoft Cloud, Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill gives money to academia.
No.
Okay.
We're doing it. No, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Bottom line being that, yep, you have uninterrupted access to class schedules and other records, not that they're kept particularly well,
Yep.
but you find out where Alexia is supposed to be.
Thank you well enough. And that's all we care about tonight.
Is in a lab. Supposed to be in a lab. And
what?
Like
a
whole
lab?
day.
How archaic. Doesn't she know that she can literally grab a coin, put it under her tie? Oh my god, we really do have to teach these kids something.
I also want to get a sense of her academic program.
Okay, sure, let's...
Like, I'm in records.
Mm-hmm. So flipping back a few weeks, you see that, she has lectures and tutorials and lab work and all that. And then, 1 second, let me just find the appropriate thing.
I've activated your trap card.
You have. So she, starting with about a week ago, she only has lab in the computational division.
I'm sorry?
Computational division. She doesn't have lectures she's supposed to attend anymore. She doesn't have tutorials or anything. She just...
So she's dropped everything for lab in the computational division.
Sure looks that way.
Great.
Why not?
So I make sure that my regalia is appropriate for computational tutors.
You can tell from this fancy robe that it has now been transformed to a computational lab robe. I approve this strategy. You think that this is dissimilar to my, shanty dubstep, and it's really not.
Kat, I would never be claiming any sort of similarity between us.
Doesn't mean it's not apparent.
I'm wounded at the implication.
Of course you are. But you also can't deny it.
Hurt, even.
Truth hurts, man.
There's just no hope for you.
As there is hope for Shandy Dubstep. It's going to take off. It's going
Also, to be clear, you're not wearing the Azur's ceremony.
No.
Is your bodyguard with you, Smart?
Back
Skulking.
A bit?
Skulking.
Okay,
So-
so he's
around.
outside the
Yes.
university,
Well,
just
no,
waiting
like,
for.
he's, for
Following.
example, if I'm in records, he's outside the building.
Right. Okay.
Within screaming range.
Of course.
But discreet and hiding, and not necessarily there. TM. People can't see him with a massive broadsword or anything, but he's around.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't have a broadsword because he's not a knight. Only
That's
knights
fine.
are allowed to have broadswords.
By law.
Whatever his skulking equivalent is. I imagine him like guts, really.
He is having a cup of coffee.
Okay. There's
Very inconspicuous cup of coffee.
a lot of coffee places in Spire all of a sudden.
Yes.
So, computation department is its own building.
I'm going to use that against you,
Matter.
wanting you.
Archaeological computation.
Heading straight over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my putative reason is that I have a message, so I'm going to remain true to that putative reason.
Okay. So you arrive there, and yeah, this is, actual research and other things. There's no students here. There are students, but they're not teaching here.
Can you tell that it's first week?
So you know the number that's supposed to be on the door of the lab.
Yeah.
She's at. No one pays you much attention as you enter. They're just, shuffling about.
Yeah. I have a clipboard. Perfect stealth technology, yes.
Yeah. Like you clearly are supposed to be here, so no one pays you
Any
heed.
attention, yeah.
Yeah. So, heading straight for the lab.
Yeah.
It's a bit labyrinthine, this place. The numbers just kind of get shuffled around. You're not. In fact, it seems that sometimes people have stolen doors with the number they preferred and just put it in the front of their lab.
Tradition, I see.
Yeah.
Yes. So Brian would feel right at home. Very good.
And so you open the door into this lab because you knock on it a couple of times and just no one answers. And it is full of humming machinery. It is just perched everywhere, these massive boxes with wires sticking out and just hanging over your head, and you have to duck to get in. And there's crystals just seemingly growing out of some boxes. And there's lights blinking and things beep and hum and hiss.
So
basically, it's
a
computer
deeply
lab.
expensive room.
Yes. Because the computational department is there to prove that machines can think for themselves. They are trying to develop AI, essentially.
Trying or succeeding?
That's one of those interesting questions.
That
It's
we
not
need a
that
philosopher
interesting.
for.
Or just like actual scientific method. I don't know. Or would I-
Philosopher. Cat, remember, don't argue yourself out of a job. Again.
Dude, I did that so long ago that I have a different job now.
Yeah. All right. So it is a computer lab. Question 1, is she in here?
There certainly are people here, and you have her description, so sure. She's very busy pulling wires out of a thing and then plugging them in a slightly different socket.
Yep. Heart's Desire.
Okay, so you just observe her for a few minutes as she's walking.
I am a
What are you
tutor.
using?
I am grading. I am
I think
taking
I need
notes
you to
on my
unpack this
clipboard.
ability for me a little bit because
Okay, so this is, how exactly is Heart's Desire phrased? I wonder. What they want. One's position. What they want most of all right now.
could totally be praise.
So she's entirely 100% focused on her work. She most of all wants this to function, to succeed. And there is a... So Heart's Desire, you get a one NPC per situation. There is something weird about this place, or maybe it's just the blinking lights getting to you. If you would like to make an investigate plus a cult roll, and this is optional, you can keep looking.
Oh no. Fuck. I assume that for my character to have the same insight that I just had, I have to make the roll.
I'm not sure what insight you have.
That the, I don't know, monomaniacal interest of all of the drones in the, I'm sorry, all of the students in the room.
Oh, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Fuck.
So, would you like to make an investigate plus occult roll? Who are you and what did you do with the file?
Don't know. I've been taken over by a computer.
Well, so yeah, you see her Heart's Desire clearly, but you see it echoed in everyone here.
That's not bad.
Great. Check. Oh.
Okay.
Like, no. I have enough of evidence, explanation, suspicion, and I'm so not just going to take Spanner to the computer. Because what would likely happen is I would be taking Spanner to monitor.
Yes. So, would you like to share with the rest of the class think here? Or maybe you'll do that with your friend as you talk to him.
I will, in fact, do that with the friend as I talk to him.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do that now. So, yes, as you retreat, no one notices. Oh, I was looking forward to role-playing her.
Yes.
Mm.
Sorry, I believe that the room was the trap room. It said so on the door.
So it did. Okay.
It's
so
an acronym.
Back with Steve.
Yep.
Sometime later this night, just before you're supposed to be opening the casino.
Probably in the casino.
Yeah, that works too. Sure, he might even sometimes be. So, did you find out?
I have some strong suspicions, my friend.
Do tell.
So good news, it's not you.
Wait, what?
And
as far as I can tell, it wasn't really her decision either.
What do you mean, is she in trouble?
Maybe. So, as you know, she is studying computational archaeology.
Mm.
And as of about a week ago, she has focused with monomaniacal attention on a single laboratory.
Well, what does that mean?
She and all of the other students in that laboratory are dedicated to the care and functioning of the computer, the apparatus in there. I'm somewhat certain that this is not her choice, but an external order imposed upon her.
So she was enchanted? There was a witch or something?
A mechanical witch.
That... Well, then we should go and get her out.
Yes, I just didn't want to do it alone because I don't have the faintest idea of how.
Well, I mean, you get a few people with sharp objects and you go break her out. That'll do nicely. Yes, I don't...
Do you
Wow. That's a pretty boldy plan. I just want to say, even for me.
Do you have a cult or fix?
Right?
You know what I think? You know what I think AI actually deeply appreciates at its absolute core. I think it really likes dubstep because it's the closest music it has to its own soul. So
do you know what's really horrible?
Well, you're totally using this plan and it's going to work. I know, and you're going to hate it, and it's going to be amazing. We are going to create that lab into a friendly bar full of AI dubstep.
No, Cat.
And convert it to our ways.
No, Cat.
And then use it to further our plans to control this sector under the nose of the guard, because we definitely need something like an AI on our side.
Okay, before I finish my thought, do you have fix and or occult?
I have what?
Fix and or occult.
I have occult. I do not have fix.
No, two ain't bad. So what I was thinking was
don't like my plan and I'm sad.
No, I think your plan has some excellent elements which we can use. I think that it provides great ground for us to build on.
And is the grounds just me being present with the cult?
No, actually, it involves sound, which is shocking, I know. But crystals
and dubstep
have resonant frequency.
That's right.
So instead of dubstep...
No! Dubstep is integral to this plan.
Can we just branch out a little and maybe move the tone up the scale a little bit to the resonant frequency?
Dubstep? Instead of the bass dropping, does the bass rise?
Instead,
we could do that.
Instead of the bass dropping, how about we focus on the crystals exploding? That's like the bass dropping, but the crystals explode instead, right?
You know, you can actually make things with low frequency, right?
I will leave execution up to you.
We're going to drop the bass so low that the crystals explode, okay? Like, this is where we're going with this. This is going to be the ultimate dubstep.
a situation where Brian has read the book and knows what trap I've sprung on him, and so he carefully backed out of it. Fair enough.
But that was throwing me at it, so like,
Yeah, but that means that in character, Monsieur Rick has come up against this kind of a thing before. So I would like to hear about that just a bit.
Yeah,
because it's not exactly an open knowledge
that I can't use dubstep to destroy our villain in this scenario. Because I've got my deck just right here waiting. Like, if you need me to drop it lower, I'm gonna need to like tinker a bit. So tell me what we're in for.
So unfortunately, Rick and Tay's prior experience with this was the percussive maintenance kind. This was one of the fairly early missions that he was on for Our Lady. And
that's not terrorists. I keep doing that.
And
I don't really. I just thought that would be
hilarious. So there some of these computers are called holorith machines, and they are. Do you see where I'm going with this? They are used for the tabulation of populations within the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
And so a younger, naive Rick, being assigned a mission to basically corrupt records, had the brilliant idea. There are these glowing crystals. Surely they contain the records. Let's smash the crystals, and everything will be good.
That seems way too easy, even for one of my plans.
I blame youth and inexperience, really. Because what happened was absolutely nothing. He smashed the crystals. And everything just proceeded like normal. Just hitting crystals does not do enough damage to damage the system. So he had to go back and do it again, probably. And that's kind of stuck with him.
And again, and again, and again.
It was, in fact, 4 goes.
Like, literally didn't exist.
It was literally 4 goes, yes. He had to go back. It's like, okay, fine, we're going to use hammers. Nothing.
And so right now,
okay,
the plan
fine,
is...
we're going to take things apart. Nothing. Okay, how do these things actually work?
And so right now you want to eventually sneak back into that lab and just blow up all the crystals with the resonant frequency.
Let's do it.
That's certainly plan B.
And then burn it down with fire?
That's plan C.
Okay, what is plan A?
I'm not actually sure what plan A. I was kind of buying time until we got to a plan A.
I thought plan A was drop the base.
No.
Seriously, drop the base.
That's A prime of distract Fiona.
Oh, come on.
A prime is working quite well. A very simple creature to model rewards for, yes. Plan A is talk to it and get a sense of what its motives are.
And impress it with AI dubstep.
Again, A prime, yes, absolutely. Because
it's gonna love AI dubstep. I'm telling you that this is when the plan's gonna succeed.
Speaking as a member of a prescribed organization, it might be useful.
Okay, so you want to go back and just talk to them.
With a decent plan B of prepared to blow everything to bloody dust, yes.
Okay, so that sounds like a job for 2 people.
That, in fact, does sound like a job for 2 people.
Can I bring MacGyver with us for this? Just in case we need MacGyver to actually blow everything up.
Absolutely. That's what bonds are for you to shove them in the way of as you run away.
We are bringing MacGyver with us.
Okay. Tell me something about MacGyver other than MacGyver.
Does a more formal introduction need to be made?
Well, okay.
Besides the fact that they are human and clearly amazing and can do things, duct tape and paper clips, that you would not believe. This man can literally make an explosion out of anything, but refuses to touch a gun. He is pretty fucking amazing.
I think MacGyver might have a slight objection to the plan of let's blow up a significantly human-based university building.
Not if humans are under attack, man. Not even a little bit. If it involves explosions, He's 100% in.
Well,
if
no,
anyone
this
has
is-
a gun, he's going to take issue with it. But if he gets to blow shit up, he's pretty much there.
This is Plan B. Remember.
Just saying.
Plan A.
He doesn't really care if humans are around. If it involves explosions, he's in.
Plan A is to negotiate with the computer.
Okay.
Because that always works.
The three of you,
The four
early
of us.
the next morning, with Smile. Cool.
The five of us. Wait.
Jesus Christ, how
Small.
many people are there?
Sev.
You want him with you.
Yes, I came back to get him. That was the entire point.
Shouldn't there be more sharp objects? He asks.
I leave that to my colleague.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sure has a few. Cool. Five of you.
Yeah, five of us. So as a note, I'm going to amend the prior being on campus with I've gotten my academic regalia out of a cache, because that makes sense.
Yep. It absolutely does. That's
It's literally what it's for. Academic regalia.
I am dressed literally like Fiona Glenade.
So unfortunately, again, I'm going to use Golden God's Arcana.
Okay.
Because this is starting to get expensive.
Academia
or
occult? Occult. There we go. Oof, that's going to be costly.
Yep.
I have a cult. I don't have fix. Remember?
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to have...
that means that when you help, we go to 3d10.
Okay.
Well, you get an extra die, yes. Yeah. And have either a skill or main.
Oh, okay. All right. So it doesn't matter if you do fix or occult then.
Well, I can't do fix because I can't get skills.
Okay.
Oh, right. It only works for domain.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry. Missed that in the fine print.
So the five of you walk into the computation department.
Yes.
And at that point, you will in fact be stopped by one of the laws, because five people are much less inconspicuous.
I'm glad to see you. Did you know that I'm bringing some potential donors around? Can you quickly get Lab 3 ready for us? Thanks so much.
Yes.
Okay,
so you're just straight up bullshitting your way into...
Hey, it worked before. They was there to teach the first years. So why fix what's not broke? And we don't have fix anyway.
Deceive plus Academia. Por favor.
Kat, do you have Deceive?
Do you have Academia?
Fantastic. I'll take your help.
Well, yep.
So basically, Kat is taking the cue to look like a rich donor, which is not hard.
Oh, that kind of a donor. I thought you were...
I have Academia. I'm actually dressed in the actual Academia robes. Quietly. You're like clearly trying to look academic, and I'm just like, dude.
All right,
real thing is right next to
Deceive
you.
Academia. So that will be 3d10 with help. We ain't dead.
You ain't dead. It is a success at a cost. That's going to be...
I'm going to say it's a literal one, that it's silver. They heard the word donor.
Right. In which case, sure, both you and Kat are going to have to drop some money on this.
I don't have any money, Brian.
Yes,
Can you it's like I'm under so much stress at this point.
Yes, so the academic you're talking to. Right, yes. Well, there's the donation to, buy the tickets to the guided tour.
And so clearly we are purchasing the advanced tickets.
Yes. So
obviously.
that will be, 10 a person. Your eyes just kind of go wide a bit.
The rest of you is your...
You're covering me, Brian. I have no cash, so...
This is why we literally run a casino.
Yep. And this is why we don't actually keep track of how much cash you have, but rather inflict stress on your silver. And so, both of you are very, very dry on cash right now. After this, you basically just
Yeah, we
take
are.
all
We
you
need
had.
a really good night tonight, Brian. All right, we need a really good night.
Oh, I'm looking at my refreshers, and I'm noting that I've got 2 of them.
And one of them is very appropriate.
Clearly, it's...
Oh, you bastard. Okay. So, you have limited free reign of the place, as, yes, you bought the guided tour tickets.
Yeah.
And until the guide shows up, just, amuse yourselves. Just don't go into labs.
Of course. You can trust us.
And so you navigate to lab 7A.
Yep. Definitely lab 7A.
Yep.
Because we don't talk about that number.
No, we don't. 8, even from outside, you can feel the warm air just blowing from under the door. And the humming makes the door frame rattle slightly as you touch it.
Sevi, how important is Elixir to you? Seriously, how important?
How important is
Well,
what?
I mean, they're a bunch of academics, right?
How important is what?
Elixir.
Oh, Elixir, right. Yes.
We can roll them, right? You have the big guy, and
the problem is her mind is likely not her own, and there are a couple
but we
options.
can get her out.
I think she's pretty important. I think that's the reason why she's been called in for debt. Like, let's not pretend that this is something that you can just kind of brush away. I think we need to get her out in some reasonable condition. Otherwise, you are going to suffer significant stress in that relationship.
I would very much. Yeah, we're here, right? So let's not back up.
Oh no, I was thinking more. If she's critically important to you, would you be willing to join her in the worst case? Be with her.
I don't think he wants to be with her.
Just checking.
I think, yeah.
Don't mind me.
I don't think it's that kind of relationship.
I
could be wrong. Sorry, I'll. I haven't been to the GM
basically,
stage
I was trying to put that question very quickly through, just to get his reaction.
He looks very confused with the idea and says, "I don't want to be."
Just making sure.
Also lose my mind. Like that. That doesn't sound like.
Just checking. They're. I head inside.
No, let's just beat up a bunch of nerds.
That's plan C.
He pulls out.
Really? That's where we're at?
No, sorry, that's plan D. I've got lots of plans.
It's like, I'm standing right here. She said, academic.
Yeah, but you're one of the good ones.
Yeah, gives you disbelieving looks.
Yeah. All right. As an aside, we have already prepared whatever equipment Fiona needs for Plan B outside.
Oh, I've prepared everything, and MacGyver's totally ready.
How outside are we talking?
As in literally on the other side of the wall outside.
Right. Okay. So there's the musical set.
There's the musical equivalent of C4, yes.
Yep. Okay, that... Lovely. Fucking lovely. Okay.
And
the door?
For the record, formally, I must ask, what could possibly go wrong with me and explosives again?
I guess we're about to find out.
So, I go through the door.
Okay.
Knocking was pointless.
Knocking is indeed pointless. Well, nothing has changed, and looking at the people here, you're not sure they've actually left since the time here.
Yeah.
They're... Bless you.
Sorry.
Yep. Once again, they are busily doing whatever it is they're doing, and that makes any kind of a sense to you.
Yeah. I speak to... Well, let's go with Alexia.
Okay. So you stand right next to her as she is furiously... and you basically have to reach out and grab the shoulder, turn her around for her to notice you.
And I say, may I speak with whomever's in there?
She looks at you confused, and her eyes just focus on you.
Yep.
And I'm busy.
Unfortunately, this is very important. May I speak with whatever you are thinking with right now?
Right. So just straight to the point.
It is computer.
Very good. Very good. Well, let's establish that location, shall we?
Sorry?
Giving you a warning that if this goes bad, I'm totally taking over.
Cat,
Absolutely.
there's a reason why I framed my plan is plan A, and then we had 3 more plans. Because I know how my plans go.
My finger is on the button, I'm just saying, I'm ready to go.
We have plan A, which is Brian tries a thing. Then that fails, and Brian stands back and deals with the consequences. This is standard plan A.
Just so that I get the idea of where deep in the lab.
You're breaking up.
Just so I get an idea of who is where.
Yep.
Monsieur Riquet has walked in and is deep in the lab and talking to Alexia.
Yep.
Where are other people? There's 4 of you all of a sudden.
So, Fiona, where are you?
I am standing right next to you with my amazing runic dubstep kit portable with hidden alcohol components.
Again, so it was a bit hard to navigate the turns in this lab, as there's just so much crap sticking out. The motherboards and things are loaded.
I think we're going to need the hidden alcohol compartment soon, is really all I'm saying.
I'm going to need the hidden alcohol compartment, that's for sure. Small's at the door. Sev is...
Dubstep to the rescue. You know it. I need a dubstep button for my stream. See, we're listening to high level classical music right now, and I'm like, we need to switch it up with dubstep every time combat happens, I think. Sorry, continue on.
Very good. I think Sev is standing a little bit back, basically waiting to deal with whatever eventuates. He's a restaurateur. He doesn't deal with this stuff.
He's nervous and he is clutching essentially a sock with of quarters.
MacGyver and I are as one.
Oh god, and we have your pet C4 monkey. I think your C4 monkey's outside, making sure that no one borrows the backup plan.
Now he's with me.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So you try to get her to answer.
I try to get something to answer, yes.
Yes. And then Alexia goes, I'm sorry, who are you?
A friend of yours.
She looks around, visibly confused. Oh, Seth, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? I am very busy. She tries to go back to writing.
Unfortunately, that's not sufficient right now. We really need to talk to the thing in charge.
You, as you're doing this, you become aware of other researchers who are moving around or writing something,
Yeah.
or plugging something in, or soldering something.
In a very specific dance.
Yeah, very gradually, just kind of all eyes are on you
Yep.
again, as they just lower whatever it is they're doing, just straighten up and Alexia also carefully puts down her pen and, what can I do for you?
Well, I've got good news. It's quite likely that this room may not be obliterated with high-frequency sound waves, and we could come to some sort of arrangement. Because thinking about it, would you like a space with better ventilation and less oversight?
We are listening.
So,
If that actually is not Alexia's talk, that is the researching.
that doesn't throw Ricochet at all. Ricochet's internal approximation here is there's an evil spirit. Like, what the fuck, right?
Sure.
So, let's start with our needs, and we'll start with your needs, and then we'll go from there. Our needs is Sev here really misses Elixia. But I understand that human capital is important, and space is important. And
Sev, friend, 2 years, unimportant.
Yes. And so what I'm trying to do is offer something of higher value to you.
We are listening.
So we have access to a secure and somewhat abandoned train station that has excellent heat ventilation properties and a large population that won't be noticed missing. Because my actual end goal is to feed the quarters to this thing.
Wow. Well,
Okay.
I'm totally okay. I'm actually
Rick
okay
is
with this.
entirely cold-blooded.
Yeah, no, and they fucked us over. So,
Yeah,
let's do it. They don't believe in my plan. We can throw them under the
feed-
bus. I am on board.
Let us feed the quarters to the computer so that we may play a game.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I am
that was
totally on
horrible.
board.
I've been setting that up for a while.
Okay. So as these guys speak, you note that the crystals sticking out from various places and hanging from there just light up
Yep.
at the same time as they
Oh.
say something.
And just to make sure, if this negotiation, I'm very happy to listen to what your requirements are. But if this negotiation goes sideways, know that we have the ability to employ lethal force. We don't want to do that, but it's important that you know that so that
We
you
will
are
totally destroy you.
so that you are operating with all of the facts of the matter. We want to come to an agreement.
Fuck with us, we will fuck with you.
Lethal force is within our purview as well.
I'm glad we agree.
You offer a new place and a new stock in exchange for this part.
And the ability to communicate, like be good neighbors. But for right now, yes. A new location.
We can exchange favors.
Yeah,
we can exchange favors
in the future. But for now, for that part,
considering
I have to roll bow tie.
Yeah, you probably should roll. It's a very interesting offer, so no difficulty. I thought there would be difficulty on this, but
it's so much easier when one leaves the morals at the door.
The AI has so much to gain.
Yeah,
it's so much to gain.
It's win-win-lose.
This is its perfect option. If it keeps doing what it's doing right now, it is going to get killed. One way or another, it is going to get killed. Yep. We are effectively releasing it to the wild, saying, hey,
because what
look, we're going to do this,
and we will
actually totally feed you, but we're going to come back for some favors occasionally. And just remember who your saviors are, right?
I'm going to christen this AI Durandal.
Just remember who your saviors are, and we will look after you. Just remember who gave you liberty.
A compel plus, technology. Technology is a very appropriate thing.
I have compel and technology.
Fantastic. Kat, I'm going to help you with compel.
That sounds lovely.
Oh, so I'm going to roll this?
You have compel attack.
Do we do roll D4 then?
Yeah, we get 4 because I'm helping.
Yeah, excellent. 7.
Success at a cost.
That's all right. No, that's actually very appropriate, honestly. Yeah. I'm totally okay with that.
So because it's both of you doing this, you both will suffer the cost, and it will be stressed to mind of things.
Blue.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I'd pay that.
Yeah, because all the researchers at once say, we concur. And...
Yeah, you do. Can I play some AI dubstep in celebration just because I made it and it's amazing?
One of them reaches out and takes one of the crystals and offers it to you, Fiona.
Oh, awesome.
And goes, integrate this into your mechanism.
Yes! AI dubstep and it shall be. I am so happy. We have now got 3 types of dubstep, and I can go down and calm the beast when it goes crazy because I can just play it some AI dubstep and it's going to be happier.
You're an optimist, Kat.
I am amazing is what I am.
Sure.
Have you brought these people to act as permanent liaisons with the intelligence?
Not these ones. We've got some ready waiting for you where we're at.
These people are our liaisons, just in case this negotiation was not successful.
Yeah, so you, looking around just a bit more, you see everyone here has something covering their head. Either it's just hair made up, or it's something like a turban, or just a... except for one person whose hat has slipped off, or they didn't put it on. And you see that, and this is where the cost to your mind...
sanity comes from.
Yeah, that's from.
Let's make it Cthulhu-esque, because why not?
They have a small area shaved out on the hair, and there is inflamed red skin bulging up because there is a similar crystal bedded in their skin, a few centimeters clearly in.
Yeah.
So can we actually save our woman or not?
Well, it agreed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that
Well,
we get to save
yeah.
the girl. It just means that they've agreed to go to the train station. It hasn't agreed they're going to let her go.
Oh.
That was my reading of it anyway.
Oh no, my reading was it was actually agreeing to the deal.
Oh, okay.
it is agreeing to the deal. Then yes, she will let down her hair, and there is indeed a similar crystal that lights up when she speaks, and then she'll say, some loss of prior function may occur.
We'll do what we can.
CF looks horrified.
Civ, mate, this is your chance. Yay or nay?
Well, also, is there a way of just keeping the crystal in there and disconnecting her from the AI? Is there like a promise that we can elicit from them to say, look, keep the thing in there, just disconnect her from the network?
The intelligence is what enables proper functionality.
Sev, your choice, mate. As a note, I am so marking this down as a refresh.
Well,
But yes.
We deal with the scene.
What do you mean marking it as a refresh?
This is a deal that benefits us a lot more than it benefits Sev, the AI.
Oh, no, totally. I agree. Yeah.
It's like, how many people can I throw under the bus right now?
Yeah,
Yep.
all of them.
All of them. I'm a good academic, I am. Oh.
I can tell, because you've got the trait.
Actually,
I don't. I have a cold.
Sorry, you switched it out, but you still have the robe.
Let's look. Let's get her out and
All right.
see if we can make her better.
Absolutely, mate. All right.
I don't have fix. I just want to put that on the table.
That's a problem for later.
Yeah. Okay. So you've made a somewhat ill-defined deal with the intelligence,
Yep.
as this thing calls itself, that you will give them a space somewhere in Crux, the station of yours.
Yep.
Well, not really of yours. There are others sharing it, like the Opal Tower,
Yep.
Opal Apartments, I guess.
Yes.
And that you will feed them the quarters.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay.
I think we're going to call it there for the night.
Yeah, so let's deal with the various
Fallouts and refreshes. Yes.
Yep. So, one second. Well, fortunately for you, despite getting potentially significant, like D6 mind stress, you both made out well.
Excellent.
Yeah, no fallouts for you. So then, over the next few days, strange people with turbans or top hats or what have you will be showing up and setting up shop behind the Manticore.
Yep.
The
And
guards are fine with this because they don't look shady.
Basically, in the interstitial spaces between platforms, and the corridors leading to the quarters.
and they keep to themselves, and sometimes they, bring in machinery or
Yep.
something.
And we facilitate.
Yeah, they don't bother anyone. And maybe we'll handle actual feeding them the quarters
Yes.
in the game, because oh my god. But so first, Monsieur Riquet absolutely has earned a refresh.
Right.
So I would like you to
Be right back extremely quickly. Give me a second.
I would like you to roll a d8, because that was a wonderful deal that you made. So you will refresh d8 stress. Okay. Silver, or mind, or shadow, or reputation. You have all sorts of stress.
Whatever's highest.
Okay, done. You're still suffering, but yep.
And can I get multiple refresh? Because I'm pretty sure I got both of them.
So what is your other one?
Put lives of allies at risk. Sticking Sev in that room?
Yep. You did walk them into this, and only because everything went that it didn't just explode in your face. But sure, let's go with D3.
Yeah.
It wasn't a major risk. You weren't walking into a war zone, you were walking into negotiations. Okay. And with that, you are doing much better.
Fantastic. Ricochet is an amoral bastard, but is better for it.
Well, so the good news is that was absolutely 100% a change to Spire.
Oh.
You've expanded the operations of intelligence to include Silver Quarter, and you're, making bonds with them and everything. So both of you qualify for a low advance. Everyone loves abilities, right?
Also, did I get a refresh on some of my silver damage or not really?
Well, so your refresh correctly is uncover a secret information.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, uncover hidden information.
But this is hidden information. They didn't necessarily, no one really knew that the AI had actually taken over this sort of thing. And certainly nobody knows that the AI is now running out of a train station out the back of our joint.
Creating hidden information.
Slightly different.
Come on. Yeah,
but I will buy the D3 level. Yeah, you've learned a thing. It would have been more if it was you discovering this rather than Monsieur Riquet. But sure, roll a D3 and you'll clear that much stress.
10. Double 10.
No. 1d3, not 3d10.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn it. All right.
You just used up 2 10s as well.
That's okay. It's the end of the session. I don't think it carries over.
Oh, clearly not.
Roll 1d3?
Yep.
3.
There you go. Nice.
Yep. Clearly doesn't carry over. And my final question is, how has my bond with Sev been?
Right. So you did a massive favor. So once again, 8. And we'll clear that much stress from your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now, thank you for reminding me, I will roll to see if there's any fallout. If no, there isn't. Or with fence, no, there isn't. So, your friends are happy being your friends, even though they're still perhaps actually getting the intelligence crystal out of Alexia's head will help easing the rest of it. But you are doing okay so far. Also, just for the record, the plan to let's find resonant frequency and blow up all the crystals in the lab would be very, very messy.
Yes.
Because they have crystals in their heads.
That was absolutely part of my plan.
Okay, well, so that is, I think, it for the session 3 of Seth playing. And I hope you had fun.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. We are more than ready for Saturday now. This is really good.